Hello viewers, today we are here to welcome Mr. Rajendra Naik, who has come all the way from Gujarat to perform a series called Tarang via his instrument Pratham Tarang. Rajendra Naik has done extensive research on this instrument and he is now playing Hindustani classical music on this instrument. Sit back, relax and enjoy his performances, and I am sure it is going to strike a serious chord with the listeners and the listeners' hearts. Now let's hear from Mr. Rajendra Naik himself.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Rajendra ji, welcome to Kochi. I see this beautiful instrument in front of me, Pratham Tarang. Please tell us more about this instrument, your journey in this field, and of course your journey in music. Let's hear it from you.
First of all, thank you for inviting me to Kochi, the great city in
Absolutely.
Kerala. I had the pleasure of being with you even last year, where I had a number of concerts here, and I think I was able to demonstrate what music can be played on this new instrument.
Correct. I remember that.
So as I was telling Ullas, there's nothing fancy about this instrument. It is nothing but an Indian banjo in the new avatar from 1950s, at least that's what I remember. In 1957 I started my music journey to the Bulbul Tarang in those days, and I learned everything by myself. I used to play Hindi film songs and whatnot, whatever came my way, and so-called I became an expert, and I started playing in schools and college and everywhere. So that's how my music journey started. Very soon, I think around the time I was living in a hostel, some of my friends asked me to play some classical based songs. So it kindled an interest in classical music, and I loved classical music so much so that I took special training from great pandits and great ustads. So that's how I came into classical music. A lot of people told me at that time that Bulbul Tarang is not actually suited for dishing out classical music. So I said that let me try. So in the meantime, what happened was, after taking training in sitar from Ustad Halim Jafar Khan, I did some research, as Ullas said, and very soon I found a new instrument in a new avatar called, it's an Indian banjo. It's an electronic instrument, and at the same time I was honored to be a representative of a charity organization which is very active in education field. It's called Pratham Education Foundation. They provide education free of cost to underprivileged children, and the number goes into millions in India. So I became their representative, and I started playing music for them and raising funds to astronomical level in the last few years. So that's my little journey, and over the period of time I have done a lot of research, mainly in terms of playing technique to suit Indian classical music. That's how I'm able to play classical music on this instrument also.
Rajendra ji, so you spoke about the instrument, its genesis, you spoke about your gurus, your decades of journey in this, playing around with this instrument. But I also heard Pratham and Pratham Foundation.
Yes.
Please tell us some more about it. Where all have you played, which countries,
Right.
and what sort of funds have you been able to raise?
I will tell you all about it. I'll tell you something about Pratham. It's an international organization mainly to provide support for primary education to underprivileged children.
Okay.
And the way it works is highly qualified people started this, and they raise funds. They also provide teaching material. They also provide teachers. And they pay the teachers, and they go out into slums of the big cities as well as now in villages also. So it's a very noble cause, and I thought let me throw my lot with this. So mainly what I do is most of the donors are from NRIs based in USA.
Okay.
So I get invited and I give series of concerts, mainly in USA. Mostly it is Hindi film songs.
Okay.
So I play, and my performance, my concert is very low cost. I only need a tabla accompaniment. That's all. I don't need an orchestra. And the way I play, I sort of provoke the audience to start singing with them. So they love it. Okay. So after the program, my friend, one Mr. Yogi Patel, he talks about Pratham and sort of exhorts them to pay, and we'll be amazed to know in the last 2 years I've been going to USA, we have in all raised about rupees 12 crores in last 2 years.
Okay.
So this is my contribution towards Pratham. Also, we have tried to repeat this exercise in India also by a series of concerts in Gujarat, where we did not raise that high a position, but we have raised some positions. So that is my Pratham journey. I have played in most of the cities in USA in the last 2 years. I have played in Vadodara, I have played in Ahmedabad, I have played in Navsari, Surat, everywhere. So everyone knows me there. So now I can say very happily that the instrument is now in a way established as a serious instrument. Your goal, serious instrument, which can dish out film songs, which can dish out bhajans, which can dish out qawwali, and we can dish out also classical music.
Wonderful. Right. So, and now you have added Kerala and Kochi to your portfolio too. So you've been traveling here. This is the second season.
Thanks to you.
Okay. Now let's get a little bit more into music.
Yes.
You mentioned about the charm of this instrument, playing classical music, and that is something that has not really happened in the past.
Right.
So what sort of explorations have you done, adaptations have you done? Is there any modification that you've done on the instrument, or is the playing style itself that you've changed?
Mostly what I've done is the instrument maker is in Mumbai, and he has been making this instrument for years.
Okay.
So I have slightly changed the order of the keys, whereby the open string it matches the tune with sitar.
Okay.
So that's in Ma. So I have asked him to change the configuration so that Ma becomes an open string. Okay. Then you are right, I have done nothing else in the modification of the instrument.
Itself.
I am proud to say I have done so much modification. Playing style is very different from the way it sounds in qawwalis and bhajan. So I would consciously try to replicate the sounds of different instruments to the extent possible. It's a fixed fret instrument, as you know, fixed fret. So you can't play, you can't have a continuity, the kind of sarangi and violin. I have tried my best. And if you read some of the comments on my YouTube channel, you will see how people appreciate them. I think you were also listening to my, watching me perform yesterday, how I play gamaks, how I play murkis, and how I play fast stance on this. I must tell you that I have also had the honor of doing a jugalbandi with sitar.
Okay.
My guru's son, we have done a jugalbandi also.
Okay.
So that is, I think, is highly satisfying. And add to that, I'm using an instrument to raise funds for underprivileged children.
Very good, very good. Now, one other thing which we notice in our traditional music is that people, over generations and generations, music evolves. Like if you take sitar, I think this is the 7th or 8th generation of sitar players that we see. If you take flute, maybe it goes even backwards.
Goes to Krishna's time.
Right. Now, for Bulbul, I think there is no such genesis or gharanas or any such thing.
No.
Do you think, listening to you playing and some of the other musicians playing, can we create something like that? Do you think more and more younger students would adapt to this, listen to this, start learning this, and then bring it on to mainstream, on the main stage?
Okay. It's a very good question. My effort has been, see, my first love is classical music.
Yes.
But the way I present classical music is through film songs based on classical.
Correct.
Like, say, if you ask anyone, songs of Baiju Bawra, they are all based on classical music.
Yes.
When they sing the song, they don't realize that it's classical music.
Correct.
And they also know the name of the raga. Now, how do you connect that to the classical music is my job.
Correct.
I play the same song in an elaborate fashion. In between, I punctuate by explaining also. If you see some of my YouTube videos, you will realize how I explain simple ragas like this. How a film song is, points to that particular sur by which the raga is known. So that has been my effort, and I think slowly it is paying off.
Paying off. Okay.
The problem is that there is nothing like a gharana in this. You can say it's Rajendra Gharana, if you say, because I have sort of a new way of playing.
Yeah.
So I hope that at my age, whatever I have accomplished, whatever new things I have added, it gets carried on with proper development. The thing is that people don't have patience. They don't have patience. They want to learn something 30 ragas in 1 month. That's not possible.
Age of instant.
That has been
instant everything.
Yeah.
No, but I think I agree with you. So Rajendra ji, one other thing we notice is that in our Indian scenario, the popularity of whether it's vocal music or instrumental music or percussion happens through film music generally, and this has been going on for many decades. So is this instrument a very common instrument in film music, or has it tapered down? Is it picking up? Where does it stand today?
Okay, this instrument in a different form has been in the film industry for many years. The closest to this instrument is mandolin.
Oh.
So mandolin is a very accomplished and very popular instrument.
Yes.
Now in some cases, like where the film shows qawwali or a bhajan, so then they introduce this.
Yeah.
It has a different sound, but it almost sounds like mandolin.
Yes.
So it is true that this instrument has played some minor part in some of the films that I have seen.
Okay.
But not in a big way.
Not in a big way. Okay.
Right?
Okay. So Rajendra ji, moving away a little bit from music and your instrument and the research around the instrument, let's hear a little bit more about your journey in the field of your engineering field. I know you're a graduate from the IIT Mumbai. Also, you have authored many books. Seems like you have diverse interests. So please take us through that journey of yours. How do you get into that, and what all have you done in those spaces?
Ullasi, that is a fantastic question you asked me. I'm glad that you asked this question. The point is, I feel that all forms of art and fine art, they are connected. They are all connected. You can't really distinguish this and that except the form. What happened was, I had been also interested in literature right from my school days, and I used to write a bit. So around year 2016, I started writing seriously at the behest of my daughters. Now start writing. So I started writing, and I found it so nice, and it gave me the same pleasure and joy that I get from my music. So I started writing, and soon it became a big collection of short stories and stuff. Then someone said, why not make a book out of it? So I made a book out of it. I write initially in English, and then where necessary, I do translation of it into mostly Gujarati and sometime in Hindi. So a lot of books have come out. There are certain novels I have written in addition to the short stories. Here are some of the books which I have written, about 5 books. Some books I have written here. These are in English. So they are all available on Amazon, Flipkart, and all the other outlets. So I think there is no question of how do you do all this diverse. Nothing is diverse. I think everything is connected. Apart from writing all these books in the last 4 years, I have written a big novel about village life in South Gujarat, and I named this novel as Bahurupi, which means a man who entertains people by disguising himself into different forms. It's a novel about Bahurupi, but in generality, one can say that in a way, the philosophy I'm propounding is the fact that all of us are Bahurupis of some sort. We are born as a little child, then we grow up, then we start wearing certain clothes, and then we get married, and we got a sister, we got a wife, and we take up different forms. Somebody becomes an engineer, somebody becomes a doctor, somebody becomes an artist. So we are all Bahurupis of some sort, and we go on changing as per the requirement, sometimes our own requirements, sometimes the requirement of the society. So that's a new novel which will be coming up in sometime in end of this year. It will be published, and then the Gujarati version also will be published in about next 2 or 3 months.
So Rajendra ji, it's always a pleasure to see you back here. I know you came here, you did a series of concerts last year, and you have a series of concerts this year. Just tell us about your experience from the past performance. What do you think will happen this year? And how do you mix this and with all of your other creative aspects of life?
Right.
So what's in your mind?
Right. What struck me most about Kochi, Kerala is the fact that compared to any other part in India so far where I have played, the audience is highly disciplined, highly receptive, and I'm amazed, and even my friends are amazed to find that Mr. Naik goes all the way to Kerala to discover Hindi film music. Is there an audience for that? There are lots and lots of good audience, I think. One of the most disciplined audiences, one of the most knowledgeable audiences I found, and it was always a pleasure. So disciplined. So this is something I like about it. And I would like to continue coming here. I just made contact with the Gujarati community here, so where I'm going to play Garba type of song. So I hope it works out every year so that I keep coming. Because coming here is always a great joy for me, great joy. People simply love the music that I dish out.
Okay. So Rajendra ji, let me ask you something very interesting. So as someone who is also learning this instrument, trying to play this instrument, what tips would you want to pass on to me from your journey? Your journey is far, far richer, far, far ahead than me. What do you think I can learn from you? And how?
Ullas ji, may I start with the cliche?
Sure.
It just says that there is no shortcut to anything.
Yes, agree.
All you need is passion and patience. One or this, it will not do. You need both passion and patience. You can't accommodate. Rome was not built in a day, as they say. So I always feel, and besides, at my age now, I think I'm eager to transmit all my collected knowledge to people who are deserving, and for that I do not find people who have got a very, very slippery kind of patience, very slippery kind of passion. They don't have passion.
True.
Perhaps they have no time. But then I often repeat, if you have the passion, you'll find time. You will find time if you have the passion. Without devoting time, nothing will happen.
Okay.
And also one more thing I'll tell you, clarify. In olden days, the great musicians always used to say, I practice for 15 hours a day. There is no need. There is no need. If you practice intelligently, even 2 hours a day will be good enough.
Sufficient.
Yeah, there is no need to just go on and on for 15 hours or something. You're intelligent. You apply your intelligence to your riyas. That's all I would like to say. I would like to transfer my knowledge to somebody who is really deserving. Luckily, fortunately, we have the advantage of living in now a time of social media.
Yes.
Now, social media can be destructive. It can be also
Very constructive.
used very constructive. I would like to say that I can transmit this knowledge online also. It won't be as good as if in person. And so online discourses, I have started writing articles about music in a very popular magazine in Gujarati. I can do the same thing in English. But then time is a factor which we must see. Social media will make sure that a person in Allahabad will also be able to gain knowledge, some tips, as you said. Right?
So Rajendra ji, you spoke about instrument, its genesis and all of the journey around it. Now how can more and more people learn, more and more youngsters learn? Can they make the use of power of social media? Is there anything that you can share that around that? Maybe a quicker way of learning.
I'll repeat that there's no shortcut.
Okay.
First you need passion and patience. Both things are
Very
required in big measure. And as I again told you, the social media is of great help. For me to transfer my knowledge to you or someone else who is interested, it's not necessary for you to come to my place. You can do it online also, which is a great way to build this whole knowledge base for youngsters or even old people like me.
So Rajendra ji, it's been a great pleasure speaking with you. The whole journey, your musical journey, your journey in the engineering field, the work you do in literature, writing, and the fact that you came here last year, you enjoyed interacting with the crowd, and you are back again and you want to keep coming back again. Now let me tell you, Kerala is always welcomes guests. We are God's own country. So absolutely anytime you would want to come in, we will find a way to host you.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing could be that through this journey, through your efforts, if the instrument finds more adaptability, more adoption with the young crowd, then the whole purpose of your journey is going to become far richer.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please do that. And for the upcoming program, the one on today and the one that is tomorrow, wishing you great success. Let's hear some real good, authentic music from the heart.
Sure.
Thank you for coming here and performing for us, Rajendra. Namaste.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to
Thank
come
you.
back here again.
Thank you.
Thank you.